Welcome back to Bridges. We are talking this morning to Officer Flo Wormley and Officer Byron Daniels. These amazing police officers are from a program called the Toledo Police Prevention Team, and we've shared some great information with folks this morning. So if you missed it, just wait a couple days, then go online, 13abc.com, and you can see the show again. And you'll see what we talked about in the first segment, because it's really great stuff and you want to know about it, especially if you're a parent or a guardian out there who's struggling with behavior issues with your kids. But we only have a few minutes left in the second segment, so I want to talk about some of the programs that you run in your organization. One that I was really impressed with was Brains and Body. And let's show just a couple of things. Take a look at some of the things that are included in this Brains and Body program. Mathematics for Life, science, spoken word, where actually science is taught through poetry of sorts. That's just amazing. I would have been a better science student if somebody had put it into poetry. Chess, nutrition classes, male mentoring. The list sort of goes on and on and on. And these are programs that you offer to kids who become a part of the Brains and Body program. Right.
And Brains and Body, this is the concept that Officer Daniels brought in. So this is the extension of Strive when he came, and I'll let him talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, the Brains and Body program starts June 30th and it runs through July the 30th. And it takes place at Robinson Middle School. And the program will run Monday through Wednesday from 8 o'clock to about 1:30. And breakfast and lunch will be served. And as you mentioned, the programs up there: Mathematics of Life, spoken word, chess. There'll be male mentoring. And this year we're also adding introductory to Spanish. So that will be the brains portion of it. And then the body portion of it would be the basketball. We have weighted hula hooping. We have in tug of war. There'll be baseball. There'll be dodgeball. All sorts of physical activities. So last year it was a very successful program, and we're looking forward to doing it again this year. Dr. Durant, the school superintendent, he supports us. So does our police chief, and our sergeant and our lieutenant and our captain. Everybody is real excited about the program, so we're encouraging parents and young people to sign up for the program.
Is there a cost?
No, there's no cost. It's absolutely free.
Go ahead, sorry.
We've had some financing come from our police department and from contributions that Officer Wormley and I go out and solicit for the program.
Yeah, and I want to say that, this program takes donations. They need donations, and I'm going to show you where you should send those, give you information as to where you should send those donations before we leave you today. But this is an amazing program, and it only happens through the support of this community.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
You said, and you're not trying to raise a whole lot of money, $25,000?
Yes, that's
basically.
about both the programs together.
The Strive and the Brains and Body is about $25,000. So can anybody what's the age group, officer?
All right, the age groups this year will be from the 3rd grade right on up through the 11th grade.
11th grade. And is it any child then in that age group that wants to be involved can be involved?
Yes, they can. And we'll break them down by age and the grade that they're in. And we have certified teachers, certified instructors. And so come on out. We're looking forward to helping them out.
And how many kids can you take in that program?
We can take about 85.
About 85. Okay, and you have to register, and the registration forms are available at the Ottawa Park substation, which is where these folks can be reached.
Yes, but you know what? We would definitely like you to come out to the 5K, because that's going to be open registration. So if you want to be first come, first serve, that's when the forms they come out for the first time.
Okay, now that's a great segue. You're like 2 steps ahead of me there. That's great, though. So let's talk about the 5K. That's part of Strive.
Yes, it is. And Strive, like we said, helps kids pass their OGTs. And we go beyond.
Could you tell people what an OGT is for those folks who don't know?
The Ohio Graduation Test. And not only that, if you're 20 and the only thing is holding you up from getting your high school diploma, you can come to me and you take the tutoring, and if you pass, you can get your diploma. So you don't have to look at a GED right now. Why don't you just look at Strive or look at me?
Right, and you have to, for those of you who don't know, you have to pass this test now in order to get your high school diploma. You didn't have to do that when I was in high school, but you do now. You have to pass this test, and you all help get people through this
Yes.
test through the STRIVE program.
It's held out of Scott High School, and we have a test site coordinator, assistant test site coordinator. We have the teachers that are certified to teach you in that subject that you are missing. And we also have teachers that check homework, teachers that tell me if you're late. So, you know, we cover all bases. Either you come to take care of your business or you head out the door.
Wow, I'm scared of you.
It's just that simple.
So, in support of STRIVE, you have a 5K walk run.
Yes,
right?
I
saw
do.
the sign this morning too. I was telling you a little earlier. I saw the sign out in Ottawa Park. So,
Yes, we have 3 signs out in Ottawa Park, so we're trying to get you from all directions to come out and support the program. All these monies go towards the programs that you just talked about. So we don't get paid, we pay the staff, and it's going to be fun for all, a family event. And also, you know, I'm reaching out to all alumnus of STRIVE. Come back and meet your teachers and let them know how you're doing, and the parents. You know, we also have Jordan on the back, so we can
yeah,
talk about her.
I want to talk about her in just a second. But the fundraiser, and we will give you again more information. We have more information for you before you go. But for STRIVE Toledo Incorporated, the 5K walk run, it is a fundraising event, and thank you so much, Brian. There's information on the screen. It's being held Saturday, May 17th at the Ottawa Park Shelter, rain or shine, as I understand it, and it's in memory of Ms. Jordan Harris. You want to
Yes.
remind people what happened to her?
Jordan was in her apartment when her alleged boyfriend, who they have brought back now but has not been convicted, broke in and shot her several times. And it was, I'm understanding, but don't know it to be true, that it was a domestic type situation over a breakup.
And you are dedicating this event to her for what reason?
Because there is so many young ladies that are in this situation, and maybe your parents don't know. The signs might be there. Jordan was starting to come out with the signs, but it was just a little bit too late, you know. So parents should look out for signs with their children and make sure that they're not in relationships that could end up this way.
Right. And it is also important, again, to remind everybody that's watching us this morning that these police officers are really here to help. They are really just here to help with all of those situations where you don't know what to do. Jordan was one of those young ladies that was beginning to feel comfortable enough to talk about her circumstances, and unfortunately her death happened before she was able to do that.
Yes, Jordan just really wanted to come and become a nurse. And so, you know, all that has been cut short with her mom. Her mom would never see her make that goal. But we want to carry her memory on by working with one of the colleges or Owens or someone like that, that we can give a book scholarship away in her name. So, you know, everything we do, we involve youth. Youth are in these programs tutoring and mentoring. Youth are in Brains and Body. Youth are in STRIVE. And so that starts their work ethic. We're big on work ethic.
And you know, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I wanted to make sure we talked about that. This program also teaches kids those things that they need to know to become good, solid citizens. Not just getting through the OGT, but things like getting to work on time in the morning, and what you look like when you go to work is important. All of those things, am I right?
Yes, you know, even in STRIVE, we don't let girls wear what they want to wear. I know it's summertime and it's hot, but your shorts got to be at the knee.
Right.
You have to wear certain tops to come into this program, because, you know, we have men working around and we want to impress upon them that you have to look presentable.
And that you value yourself, and
That's right.
and that you are a lady, a woman, a young woman of value at the end. Looks like you've got something on your mind. Is there something
No,
you
I
want
was
to
just
say?
thinking about what Officer Wormley said about the phones. Even when they come over to the STRIVE program, when they're doing the community service, there's a no phone zone area. So when they come in there, and young people nowadays, you know, constantly on the phone, constantly texting. So we try to prepare them for those future roles, you know, jobs, and your dress, your demeanor, everything. It says a lot about you.
Right, right. And it's important to understand that everybody doesn't have the resources that allow them to know those things.
Yes.
So it's great that you guys are teaching those kinds of things. One other thing that I wanted to talk about in the last couple seconds is the way that you guys manage the mediation dispute process, which I think is pretty amazing. We talked about that, you and I did. You guys actually can mediate disputes between kids.
Yes.
And do you want to walk us through that?
Well, when we get ready to mediate, you know, we like to do things where they have to do community service work together. So although they were battling in school, when they come to us and say we go to the tow lot to clean out cars, then they have to clean out that one car together. So somebody has to hold the bag, somebody has to put the, you know, the articles in there, and so it makes them and forces them to have dialogue or communication together.
Right.
And you know, they always tell me, I can't work with them. This is not a choice. We didn't give you a choice on what you get to do. You do it our way, or you go to JJC.
Right.
And I might add also to that, before we go out and do the community service work, all the cards has to be laid on the table. Okay. The problem laid right on the table. That's the only way we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Right. And you find that sometimes when you get these kids together and you have them working together, that they've not only learned how to get through that dispute in a reasonable, planful, you know, thoughtful way, but mostly the dispute wasn't about anything.
He say, she say.
He said, she said.
He said, she said. And then, you know, we want to make sure that they can make it back to school and make it through school without these events occurring again. So,
Right.
you know, it's a bigger picture than just coming in contact with us. It's the plan of, you know, mediating it, getting yourself back in school before that 10 days is up, staying in school because you're not going to have that dispute anymore, and then the final graduation.
Right. Right. What an amazing program. I'm so glad that you guys joined us today. And 5 seconds, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to thank you for having us.
Oh, you are so welcome. And we need to stay in touch. I want to keep this program in front of this community so that you get the support you need to continue to help these kids. Thank you so much. We're going to go away for just a second, but we will be right back.